Active Life recognizes ethical practices every day. Everything we do as a nonprofit, our goal is to make the community healthier. And Active Life to me has been so refreshing because everything is proactive. We're always thinking about how we're going to affect people and how we have to work to be supportive.
Active Life is a grassroots movement, so as thought leaders of the movement, we really do encourage healthy lifestyles. We're all kind of active in our own way. For me, ethics is being in tune with yourself, making moral decisions based off of your moral compass.
We encourage ethical practices here in everything we do. A lot is because of nonprofit, we have to be completely transparent in the public eye, but also we mentor a lot of interns here within the local colleges, and we want to teach them that honesty is the best policy.
It was great for us to be nominated for an ethics award because I feel like the things we do day in and day out are good and that we try to help create healthier communities. So it makes me feel like we're doing the right things the right way. It's my personal opinion that everyone, regardless of your income or your place in life, you deserve to have equal access to education, to opportunities to live healthy lifestyles. So I think that's key for us.
The Good Earth Project was formed to promote education and economic opportunities in areas around the world without access to electricity. Ethics at the Good Earth Project starts with the volunteers' policy and their handbook and an expectation of how they're going to treat their fellow volunteers and the people that receive these lights if they accompany us on a distribution trip. Ethics is the fairness and the respect that we show one another and the recipients of these lights. This is an example of a household light that we provide in these remote villages to replace kerosene lamps and other dangerous fuels that they're currently using to light their homes. And we are fortunate to have a local company that tests and qualifies our product to ensure that we take the best product out into these remote areas. When we distribute lights in a village, we make sure that every house in that village receives a light on the same day. We leave no houses in the dark. By providing these lights, we can save the life of a child.
Ethical practices are incorporated into our DNA at Impact Austin. Everything that we do, from evaluating the grants in a fair and transparent manner to the way that we treat our volunteers, because every woman that you meet at Impact Austin, with the exception of our paid executive director, is a volunteer.
Being recognized for an Ethics in Business Award is a great honor to Impact Austin. We want our members to be inspirational role models in the community, so being honored shows that we are successful in that area and our members are doing that. We have 125 women that sit on focus area committees that review the grants. So we are looking at the nonprofit's financials, doing site visits, but we're also providing training for our members to do that. So they walk away understanding more about their community and the nonprofits that they're in.
You will have some women who have young children. They're working full time. They save all year long to write that check. You'll have some women who can write that check, no problem, and donate a lot of time on top of that. Each one of those women has an equal voice. They have one vote. We feel that having an equal voice in Impact Austin demonstrates fairness and respect for women and the wonderful things that they do in our community.
Ethics, to me, is really grounded in trust, and do your actions align with your values? It's not just what you say. What's more important is what do you do and how do you act, and how does that line up with your own personal priorities or your business priorities? And one of the things that I'm involved in these days and have been involved in for quite some time is education. You know, Austin Partners in Education is a great example where we ask up to 1,000 business volunteers to go spend an hour a week in a classroom with a set of kids. And they're both learning about each other. They're both learning about what motivates each other. We have 1,000 business volunteers who have made it important enough to spend some of their time during the day, once a week, with some people they've never met before. I don't know how you extract a bank from the community. And Wells Fargo has a vision and values statement that we've had for over 25 years, and we ask of ourselves and of our team members to join us to try to make this a better place to live, work, and play.
Well, ethics for me starts with the golden rule. Here at Greenlights, we have a unique role in the community. We are in business as a nonprofit organization to strengthen other nonprofit organizations, and sometimes that requires that we have to get deep into the business of those organizations, and so we have to have a trusted advisor relationship with every nonprofit with whom we work. They have to know that when they share something with us about what's working well or what's not working well, that they can trust that we'll keep it confidential and that we'll keep their best interests at the top of mind. I've been blessed to have given lots of opportunities to serve in this community and around the world. I'm involved in helping to start and lead an organization that works with orphans in Ethiopia. They're mostly caused by HIV/AIDS. I can't think of a more desperate, hopeless situation than losing your parents. My greatest blessing in life is that I get to work on these issues all the time. I get to seek solutions for injustices here and across the world, vocationally and avocationally, and I'm pretty fortunate to get to do that.
Hello, my name is Adrian Jonathan Mertz, and ever since I was a little boy, I've always been called to live a life of service. Here in Austin, Texas, I'm involved with several different nonprofit organizations, but I am the president of the Austin Area Home Health Council, vice president of the care communities, and I'm on different other organizations as well.
When I found out that Adrian was nominated for this award, I wasn't surprised, to be completely honest. I've seen this rippling effect that he has on the people around him. He makes everyone else want to better themselves, to be more like him and become more involved.
He always, is always living a life of service. He can go through meeting friends, volunteering with different organizations. He'll never leave without knowing that he's changed someone's life.
HIV/AIDS knows no boundaries at all. Poverty knows no boundaries, and that's why I'm actively involved with these organizations. I'm committed to making a difference, such as Blue Santa. One of my favorite stories is my partner and I were delivering presents and food for Blue Santa, and this little boy turned to us and told his friends, "Look, Santa's helpers are now delivering stuff in a car." And knowing that I touched someone and going to make a difference in his life, and know there are people out there who are committed, that's why I do what I do every single time, and I think that's what ethics is all about.
Ethics at home therapy means lots of different things. It takes different forms depending on which part we're talking about. We have ethics in the office and ethics with our patients. It's important to us that we provide the best care in the best possible way.
Ethics really is about everything we do every day. And I don't know that there's been a time that we've had to say verbally, what is the ethical thing to do here? It's about the way we do business. Ethics also is how we treat our patients and how we communicate to them. It's about respect of that greatest generation, and it's about how we care for them. Manners matter, and especially with this generation, they've earned our respect. Home therapy tries to be a good corporate citizen and primarily identify ways that we can be supportive of other efforts that support seniors. It may not be huge monetary contribution, but small things like a toothpaste drive or a pajama drive for seniors, and then donate those.
Honesty is a core value, and it's important to us to be fair, and it goes closely along with morals. It is imperative that we do honest and fair work with everybody we serve.
We do a lot to encourage ethical practices here at Square Cow.
what we're trying to give back is what we have, which is our resources. You know, it's one thing to write a check, which is always fantastic. It's another thing to say, you know what, I have trucks, and we have really hard workers, and why don't we give what we have most of, which is our resources. This isn't about earning revenue. This isn't about the bottom line. This goes beyond that. How can we not just provide customer service, but how can we truly serve our clients, the community, so on and so forth, and just maybe trying to shake that whole idea of customer service up a little bit. So when we get an email or a review online that names some of our employees that says, hey, these guys just went above and beyond. Every morning at 3 minutes till 8, we pull everybody together and we just start reading those. And literally all 40 of our guys will start clapping. We just didn't see that coming. And when it happened, we're like, wow, this is really impactful. Our industry is fraught with corruption and dishonesty and folks taking advantage of people. And it's just not what we're about. And so we quickly decided that honesty had to be a major part of what we were trying to communicate to our clients. We want to make sure they still know that they can trust us and that we're going to take care of them and we're not going to avoid them. And so that's really a big part of our business is honesty.
That's very exciting. I'm glad to be nominated for Ethics in Business Award. That makes me feel like maybe we've done things right for the last 49 years. We'll be in business 50 years next year.
So I think ethics is kind of hard to define. We get up every day and come to work and just do what we think is right, what's right for our employees, what's right for the community, what is right for our stores and as a business. So we don't necessarily think, are we doing something that's right or wrong? We just do what we know in our hearts is the right thing always for everybody. So one of the things that we do here that I just love is benefit the Starry organization. They are the emergency shelter when children are taken from their homes or are being placed into foster care where they go right away. And twice a year we do a Star sales in all of our stores and raise money for the Starry organization.
We really do try to be community stores and neighborhood stores, and so we give back on the level of, we try to give to all the youth groups that ask us, which is pretty monumental. So we don't do a lot of great, big, large things, because if we did, one large thing would stop 10 baseball teams from having Wag a Bag on their back.
You know, ethics is something that we try to make a part of every decision that we make here. One of the things that we do every Monday morning, we start out on a conference call talking about stories from our various regions on how we have tried to make a difference and differentiate ourselves in the lives of our customers, how we may have helped somebody in a community basis, but to really talk about individual Frost bankers and how they've made a difference in somebody else's life in our respective communities. One of the things that we really try and do is the give back to the community, and a lot of companies talk about that. Our employees have a volunteer group called A-Team that had almost 600 hours of volunteer service last year. A number of our employees sit on not-for-profit boards here, and we really try and encourage people, if you're going to sit on that board, get in a position where you actually can run that board and make a real difference in that organization and hopefully the people's lives in which they serve. Being recognized for ethics, to me, is an opportunity to tell our employees, thank you. And it's a bit of a recognition that we maybe do things a little bit differently here at Frost and focusing so intently on respect for each other, respect for our clients, respect for the community that we live in, and for the ethics that we try and live every day.
Any enterprise the size of IBM, if it's built to stand, it has to stand on its foundation of core values. And this is where we get into ethics, because it's not about just being right or wrong or fair or unfair. It really means more than that. It means making the right decisions at the right time and based on the right reasons.
Engaging in ethical behavior is the way that you create integrity and trust. And that ends up being the cornerstone of your brand. So if you're going to build a corporation that you intend to last over 100 years, this can be a very important cornerstone to have. because if you don't have every employee making the right choice at the right time, then the corporation itself cannot develop the reputation of having integrity and values.
Ethics means doing the right thing for the right reasons, and that's a trademark of IBM. You know, we talk about our business units, we talk about our priorities, we talk about our products, but all of that has its root in what's the right way to do this. And that's what we stand for. We want to support the communities where our folks work and live. And so it's all part of the same quotient. Business partners, community partners, we just stand for and want to contribute to the good of our communities.
I think being recognized for this award is a true honor and a gift to our company. Ethics is not something that you try to make happen. It's something that you just demonstrate every day in your way of life. And that's what we've tried to do in building a company that can not only demonstrate ethics, but live ethics. And that's what we try to do.
I see myself as being a steward of what God has blessed us with. We made a commitment to our neighbors when we established a solid waste disposal and recycling and composting facility over 20 years ago to operate it in a certain manner. And I think our ethical position in the community and how we react to the stewardship over those things define us. So downwind of the landfill, composting, and recycling exists this ranch and this event facility that we've hosted close to 2,000 events and helped raise about $20 million for nonprofit organizations. It's an opportunity to show the community that you can have such a facility and such a practice of having events directly downwind of the landfill, and at the same time show our neighbors our commitment, and just one way to visibly show on a day-to-day basis that we're committed to keeping our word.